All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson going into how all you proud women, man, even the women that are combat sports athletes and all of this, all of you women, right, are going to realize that this whole world and this whole society, as you have it right now, was being protected by men, right? All the rights that you thought you had, all the pride and everything like that was being protected by men. And if men said that you couldn't have it no more, you wouldn't have it, right? It's wicked men right now that have gave wicked women all of these rights that they have, right? But but it's going to be righteous men that are going to take away these rights from women. That's causing women to be evil and demonic. Really, in this world as it stands right now, women have got some power in this world, but the only powers that they really have, as far as I can see, is the power to be a harlot, right? The power to murder children, and the power to bear false witness and be believed every single time. And outside of that, really, there ain't too much more powers that women really have regarding anything, to be honest with you. Now, I searched up these images here of female fighters, right? And as you can see here, there's loads of like female fighters. They got six packs and all that. They got shoulders, you know. They look strong, right? But these women are not stronger than the average man. And I want to just make that clear. These women are not stronger than an average man, right? The average female height versus the average male height are completely different. The average female weight versus, well, hey, these days the average female weight is probably close to the average male weight, to be honest with you. But still, the muscle mass that a man naturally has and a woman naturally has are two completely different things. And that's why when you see that these transformers try and enter into women's sports, right? They might have been completely trash in the male leagues, but they come into the female leagues, and now they're the pound for pound champ. You know, they might have been the number 400 swimmer, but now they'll compete in the women's leagues, and now they're the top swimmer. They might have been the weakest man in their powerlifting group, but now they enter into the women's league, and now they've hit the 1 rep max record. And if women like this are not going to be able to overcome what's coming, right, then women that are just normal women that are trying to get BBLs and have cosmetic surgery and all that BS, they ain't going to be able to overcome, right? These women, for all their low body fat percentage and all of that, talking smack, they're going to get humbled, man. Like this woman right here that you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, in fact. Let's talk about her, Ronda Rousey, right? There was a time where she was talking and saying that she could beat Floyd Mayweather up, who's a man, by the way, right? And everyone was laughing and joking about it. Yet Floyd Mayweather went to jail because apparently he did hit a woman. So here it is, they're trying to talk about a woman beating him up and him questioning what would happen if he fought a woman. Yet this Edomite society arrested him apparently for him beating up a woman. They put him in jail for assault on a woman. Yet then when it suits them, they're trying to question whether he could fight a woman or whatever. And then this woman ended up getting beat up several times, right? And then after that, after her first loss, she said, she was crying on TV, talking about she don't want to fight no more. She wants to just stay at home and look after and have babies, which is what all you women are going to be like when all hell breaks loose. Like right now, you can talk smack and talk all that jazz. But when all hell breaks loose, you're going to realize what you are, right? Like in Ukraine has all them female rights parades, or had them. It had all that alphabet parades. Women can do it. Women can do it too. And all of this, right? But when the Russian soldiers came over, there wasn't none of that going on. There was a whole bunch of women fleeing. And they're probably still in the countries that they fled to now. And then when they was fleeing to these other countries, they wasn't fleeing to these other countries so that women could take care of them. They was fleeing to these other countries with the hope of men taking care of them. And it was men that was actually helping them flee. So for all the disrespect that women have in this world, it's men that are allowing them to do every single thing that they're doing. And let me read a scripture because I've did a bit of too much talking. Let me read some scriptures. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 5. For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. And women love peace, man. Women love the smooth times. Women love for things to be nice, right? Wherever there's nice things going on, right? You're gonna see the most attractive women that you've ever seen in your life. Wherever there's some champagne, some waiters carrying some champagne, right? With the grapes, with the strawberries that they put inside the champagne glass, right? Wherever there's them special crystallized type glasses and black and white ties being worn. The black suit with the white tie. Wherever there's people, oh yeah, spinning that, swiveling their wine glass around, right? Wherever that's going on. Wherever there's the pianist playing the piano, ting ting ting-a-ling, playing the pianos, all the smooth keys in the background while women are wearing them long dresses that cover their toes, right? Or that hang behind their back a little bit, wearing the stilettos, heels, and all that. Wherever there's a party that involves dressing up like that, you're always gonna see the prettiest women in your life. But wherever there's an oil change needed, right, or some plumbing needs doing, or some bricks need laying, right, or a hole needs digging, you ain't gonna see no pretty women there. You ain't gonna see those same women over in that situation, right? And you won't even see these women that think that they're tough in that situation, man. This is verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. And there's a lot of people in this world, right? And I'm not trying to make this lesson be no carnal talk, but I just want to say this point. There's a lot of people in this world that have never had a fight in their life, right? They've never been under the threat of physical harm ever in their life. Whenever a situation arises that could get like that, they just threaten to call the police and then they can escape the judgment that they probably deserve in a lot of the cases, right? And nobody does this better than evil women, right? So when everything goes down and all hell's broke loose, these people are not going to be able to go to these same places that they used to go to for comfort, to escape judgment. They're going to have to deal with the judgments that's been written for them to receive. And the scriptures say that men are going to be travailing like a woman. So what are women going to do? If men are going to be acting like women, then what are women going to be acting like? Women are going to be acting like little children. Like a 12-year-old boy, in some cases, is stronger and could potentially be stronger than some of these trained women, man. And people wouldn't want to believe that, but it's true. Just look at all these male athletes, right? When they become 12, how big do you think some of these people are? Like an Anthony Joshua or a Deontay Wilder or a Dwayne Johnson or a Mike Tyson. How big do you think these people were when they was 12? They'd be stronger than these trained women. Let me carry on reading. Verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, that there is none like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So all these MMA fighting women, right, stepping on the scales, doing a front double bicep, screaming, rah, let's get it. They ain't gonna be talking like that when it's time for real things happening on the street. And I'm not saying that that's what brothers are about neither, because we know that salvation isn't going to come by how tough we are. But there's a lot of people that think, oh, I'm trained, man. I go gym. I can run a 5-minute mile. I got this. Or they might spar. Some of these women might spar with men in the gym, right? They might spar with men in the gym, so they think they can have it. They think they can have a scrap for real, man, right? But people don't realize that there's a difference between combat sports fighting and real fighting. So even some of these trained athletes, right, if they was to fight a soldier, a special forces soldier, right, They don't understand that that fight there's a hidden rule regarding that fight, and that fight there is to the death. When all hell breaks loose, it's going to be an unspoken rule that every single fight that's going to be taking place is going to be all the way. It's going to be all the way. And women ain't used to that, and men ain't used to that. It's only a few certain people that are used to that, and even them people, right? Even those people are not prepared for what Yahweh's bringing. Because let's get it. This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. And there's a good scene that you can look up to find this, and you can just look up any of the Game of Thrones fighting scenes, and you'll see that they're running around, shields, sword, spear, axe, right? They're covered in blood. They hit one guy. They don't even have time to look back. It's fast-paced, man. A real war like that is fast-paced. It's down to the millisecond. You hit one person with a sword, keep moving, hope that the person behind you that's on your side of the army gets that person as they fall. Then run and go to the next person. It's normally each fight, each individual battle within those battles doesn't even last more than 10 seconds a lot of the time, because somebody, as you're trying to fight and plan out what moves you're going to do, somebody else would come up behind you and hit you with a sword or a spear. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. There's a lot of this MMA stuff anyway. He's grappling and all of that stuff, right? But when there's a riot, you can't be trying to be like, okay, I'm going to wrap this person up in an armbar. Somebody just run by and smack you in the... Like, if you try and do it, let's just say, let me give a scenario. Let's just say you're in a supermarket, right? And you're trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? And somebody tries to rob what you're trying to take from the store or whatever. And you say, well, I'm trained, so I'm gonna put them in an arm bar real quick and break their arm or whatever, thinking carnal, and you thinking that carnal things are gonna save you. Well, somebody else could just grab a tin of beans off the shelf and smack you in the face with it, man. And that fight's over. Being carnal ain't gonna get it anyway. But these women have not even got the carnal gift to begin with, and they've been tricked into thinking that they've got it, man. Because men never really naturally fight a woman to the best of their ability, man. Women don't really know how to fight on average, man. They don't know none of this stuff, and even the ones that do, their level of fighting can compete with women and the extremely weakest of men. And even if those men was to get angry enough, those women wouldn't be able to overcome them a lot of the times. And this is a lesson to just go into how you women need to humble down, because you're not going to be thinking that you're tough like this. Like, look at this woman here, right? The one that's got the KVRA. Even her, she ain't going to be having what it takes neither. She ain't going to have what it takes, because even men, like, this woman's big as hell. Like, I think she's over like 6'3", 6'4", this woman in real life, right? But even her, she ain't going to have what it takes to back it, because it's not going to be about carnality. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5 again. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So it's not even going to be about how tough you are on the battlefield, this war that Yahweh is bringing. It's just going to be with flame and fuel of fire. One country's going to shoot their nukes. Another country's going to shoot their nukes. So then there's not going to be nobody that knows Wing Chun, right? There's not going to be no Donnie Yen Ip Man that's going to wait for the missile to land right at the right moment and like do some wax on, wax off and redirect it into outer space. That's not going to work. That might be something that you see in a movie, but in real life, that's not going to happen, right? That kind of thing is not going to happen in real life, man. In real life, that kind of thing is a myth. You're not going to wax on, wax off. You know, in real life, one man's not going to like kick one guy in his back, in his spine, punch another one, and it just knocks him out straight away. And then everyone fights him one-on-one, even though there's 10 people standing around. They're just going to all rush him at the same time. They're all going to run in at the same time. And he's only got 2 arms. So 2 arms is very difficult to defeat 20 arms. But women believe in fairy tales a lot more than men, so they actually think that they'll be able to overcome things, or they think that men are just going to simp over them. Oh, well, there's always going to be some man that likes me. and thinks I'm attractive that I'll be able to get things from. Well, in the time that we're talking about, in the time that the Bible, in fact, let me say it like this, in the time that the Bible is talking about, men ain't going to need to simp for any woman because everything's going to be free in that time. And that's as simple as I'm going to say it, man. Women don't understand that there's a lot of evil people out here in this world, extremely evil, man. And Yahweh's going to release them on the world. These people are going to be released on the world, man. This time that the Bible's talking about is the worst time ever. It's not like any other time that anybody's ever seen in their whole life. So anything that we've read about happening in history is going to be happening during this time. Violence to men is going to be happening. Violence to women is going to be happening. Violence to children is going to be happening. Violence is going to be happening. This is Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that is found written in the book. So it's going to be a time that no one's ever seen before. It's not going to be a nice time. It's not going to be a fun time. So all these MMA fighter type women, they're going to realize in that time that, like, look at the size of this woman in the yellow, man. Look at the size of her. But even I saw a video on the internet of her losing a fight to a woman that's smaller than her. So all of this thinking that we're tough, it's not gonna run, man. There's always somebody tougher than you. Always. Right? There's always somebody tougher. Every single time, man. But all these women that think that they're some fighters, I think that they're like Xena Warrior Princess, for people that remember that show. They ain't gonna be able to do it, man. They ain't gonna be able to. Their strength, what they think they have, is not gonna be enough, right? And some of these women that are on this fighting thing, they're proud, and they actually think that they can beat up men because they spar with men and train with the men, but they don't realize that the man's not really ever trying the same way as he would against a man. He's always holding back, because if he didn't hold back, you'd end up getting knocked out, man. And that's why there was a whole Transformer guy that went into this MMA, and he literally cracked the woman's head. He literally fractured her skull by punching her. Like, it's not a game when it comes to things like this, man. It's not funny. This is Amos chapter 9 and verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say that evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And that's including the sinners of women. So all you women that are being demons out there, all you Israelite women that are being demons out there, you need to change up, because what Yahweh's bringing, you're not ready for. You're really not. Nobody physically can handle what is coming upon this earth. I don't care who it is. The scriptures even go into how mighty men are gonna be crying. And let me see if I can find that scripture. Let me see if I can find that. It goes into how mighty men ain't even gonna have no strength. So look here. All right, so lucky I can't find that scripture. There's a scripture that goes into how even the mighty men are gonna be weak. But let me go to this scripture instead. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and many years ye shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And that includes all these MMAs type women that think that they're tough. I think that they've got what it takes to beat up men, right? They try and beat up men. They try and think that they can beat up men and be violent towards men and all of this stuff, right? And they know that no woman's gonna try them, right? Because women know, man. Women never try and get loud with any woman that they know can fight and stuff like that. They never do it because they know that it's socially acceptable for a woman to beat up another woman. They know that there's not really as much judgment that's going to happen for a woman beating up another woman, but they know that it's socially acceptable for a woman to run her mouth to a man, no matter how big he is, right? Like I remember one story. So like, let me tell this story. I remember one story where there was like, I saw some woman that must have been like at the tallest 5'5", probably weighed at the most 120 pounds, and she was just running her mouth to this one Jake, this one big like Ghanaian or Nigerian Jake that must have been like 6'3" and about, let's say, 230 pounds at the smallest, and maybe like 260 pounds at the heaviest, man. Some big dude, man. Right? And she was running her mouth, bang, clapping her hands in front of his face, and I was thinking to myself, women are proud, man. Because men would not dare do that without being prepared to fight. But this woman was doing all of that and didn't think that anything could happen to her. But if it was the day of the Lord, then I know a number of things could have happened to her for doing that, and she wouldn't have dared to do that if it was the day of the Lord. She wouldn't dare. The whole reason why people are so proud now and evil is because they know that Esau is going to come and stop righteous judgment being passed out, and he's going to allow for wickedness to rule. Verse 11, tremble ye women are at ease, be ye troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall have meant for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, and they're going to be hoping for all of the times where they could just pretend like they're tough to come back, you know, where they could say, oh, I'm the champion, or they could just go on OnlyFans, take some pictures of their toes. They could sell farts, right? They could sell, I don't know what these women sell on these OnlyFans and all this stuff, man. They could just take a picture in a bikini, right? And get some OnlyFans money, right? They're going to be hoping for those times to come back where they could go to the nightclub with no money in their purse, no money whatsoever, and then get everything paid for and know that it's going to be paid for. They're going to be hoping for those times. They're going to be hoping for all of that to come back, but it's not going to be there, man. All that stuff's not going to be there. And I'm going to end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.